Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. A beautiful woman with a particular man can be deceptive. Yeah, yo. You know what? Once again, I always have a comment like this. Isn't that good or bad? I mean, people can only share what they've observed. But I'm the one who looks below. I see that new car and that's like, oh, it's shiny. Let me open up the hood. I was like, oh, nah, that engine look clean, but I can tell you this, and that. I'm like that mechanic. I can tell you, okay, this is what the problem's going to be, right? But one of the things a lot of people will say was like, well, that guy had money. It's usually involving money. That guy had money. He had a beautiful woman on his arm and all of that. And I'm just like, look, here's a rule of thumb. There's some real game for y'all, right? Some real game. I'm going to use that term game, right? I'll say knowledge, some real knowledge for y'all. Unless you in the bedroom with that couple, you don't know if he's having sex with them. You don't know. Just because he's walking with her don't mean nothing. Or she even look like she's happy to be around him. That still don't mean anything. You don't know. Stuff is deceptive. Too many people don't look below the surface, don't question anything, right? She could be an escort. She could be a good friend of his. You know what? Because I was thinking about it, right? Now, I've dated 3 legitimate dimes, right? More than that. But for the case of this, I've dated 3 legitimate dimes who didn't give Rom anything. He didn't. Right? Like, it was just, went out with him, hanging out, all that, no play. Right? No play. And I was cool with all of them, too. In fact, 2 of them still on my Facebook friend list. Right? Now, I hope any of my Facebook friends don't start trying to go through my list trying to find them. Yeah, neither one of them used, the actual pictures. So, anyway, right? Thing was, somebody might have seen it from the outside and thinking, oh, he's getting with them. He's doing, they real pretty and stuff, right? And they were. They were. It was, like I say, I count 3 of them. Now, I've got with some other dimes I was hanging out with, and if somebody had seen us together, it would have been accurate, right? But even then, they don't really know, because if they didn't know me, it could have been either one. And, just to be clear, Rom ain't one of those ones who got any guy who tell you he got every single woman he's been out with is lying, okay? They straight up lying. Like, every date, ended in some sex or something. They lying. All right, I'm just being honest with you. Some did, some didn't. But I'm talking about the ones who didn't. Very attractive women. One is a model to this day. One had placed in a beauty pageant, right? One is actually an actress had been in some bit parts, and actually played a role of someone that's somewhat famous in a theatrical play, right? But nothing happened with them. But somebody seen it from the outside, say, "Oh, that's the man, that's the man." I was like, of course I was the man, but in the context of those women, really I wasn't. Really, I wasn't. So it's like you can't really go with that. Like I remember another time I'm doing a seminar, right? And it was with this particular group. So they had some of the same people at the seminar that they had before when I did something with them. And I remember this one guy, and he's probably one of those nice guys and stuff. In fact, as contentious as the guy was, I was actually wondering if he's somebody I met. He was like one of those male type of trolls that be on here. Like on one of them, he's real argumentative and stuff, and he was acting like he knew me. And I was actually thinking, was it that same guy? Right? But anyway, I remember he came to the second seminar with this woman. Real beautiful, fine woman, right? Fine, tall, fine. I was like, oh, God, man. Too bad that ain't your girl. Because honestly, I was reading that body language. And I think in fact, I'm pretty sure he brought her just to try to impress. Like, yeah, I get a woman. Because I kind of clowned him the first seminar. Because he was, just as an aside, when I was younger, I clown people publicly. I ain't give a shit. My ass is big. I'm a big motherfucker, so I ain't worried about anybody. But I I could tell from the body language that was just like some coworker or somebody who knew, because she wasn't showing anything. But see, somebody less experienced, they would say, "Oh man, I was impressed. Look at that woman he's with. She all fine and everything," right? Indeed, I would have told, shoot, if I had known or if I was a friend, I'd have been like, hey, all right, if you're gonna do that, just tell her hang on you a bit, at least like fake like she with you, right? But the point was, too many guys, you can't get caught up just because you see something. You can't. You really can't, right? Like I've had some people say, "Hey, why don't you show a video you picking up a woman?" One, other than it being like trifling for a 53-year-old man to be walking around like trying to pick up women on the street, it was just like, for what? It don't prove anything. The only way to prove anything is if I on one of my sites I have like some video where I'm actually having sex with the woman. That's the only thing would prove anything. It don't mean anything. You can't get impressed by that. But see, some people get impressed by that, and I'm just like, you don't know the whole story. Again, because I've known a lot of. I'm gonna hit y'all with some knowledge, right? Very beautiful women welcome nice guys as friends. They welcome a platonic relationship. They welcome that non-sexual companionship. So a lot of times you see them, you can't think, oh, he pulled her. You don't know the situation. Because a lot of them, they, non-sexual, it's like, if they hanging out, it's like, he's just my brother. I'm hanging out with him. Right? So you can't say that. And I know a lot of times we see that, and you see that, and you're thinking, oh, well, okay, well, you don't know what's up. Because there's a lot of women who will do that. Overall, the very attractive dime type of women I've met, 9s, 10s, and all of that I've met in life were pretty cool. But they were pretty cool with me, but they all had their shady side too. They had their shady side, and if some dude gonna like hang out with a woman, not require her to fuck or anything like that, most women gonna take that. Especially if he nice enough, he trying to get in there or something. And that happens a lot. A lot of dudes try that friend zone thing, but that don't mean anything. In fact, I know another. I started thinking about it. I know I was working on this one retail job, right? And I still know this woman. It was like a young white girl, real pretty and stuff. Like guys used to go crazy. And I'll never forget, had this dude, he would get his ass up early in the morning and drive her. And me and her used to clown about how far down in the friend zone he was. We said he'd be trying to climb out of that friend zone, and she'd be putting her foot to his head and pushing him back in. We even had a gesture. We see each other, and we raise our leg up and be acting like we pushing something down. Man, yeah, he wasn't getting nothing from her. She just came out. She just came out as a lesbian. So anyway, right? You just don't know. Well, that's another thing too. You'd be surprised. Seriously, you'd be surprised what's going on. But see, you can't take that as meaning anything. Only way you really know, either A, you in the bedroom with them, or you personally know this person, either the man or the woman, and you trust their word enough to, if they say, I'm having sex with this person, you trust their word enough to have it. So you got to take it, when you see that, take it with a grain of salt. Even in situations where you think you might see some ugly or average dude with some very beautiful woman, and people think, oh, he must have money or something. It was like, well, and even in that case, you don't know what's going on, right? Like, I remember there was a woman I knew back in D.C. She used to work at this department store back when I was working in the government, right? And, I go in, see her and stuff. She's real friendly, always had a hug and everything. Kind of tall, slim, had that model vibe and stuff. And she said her husband was, like, she's about 5'9". She said her husband was short, she said about 5'2", real, like, dumpy. She said overweight, right? And that's one of the places I really learned this lesson, right? And she's, you thinking, And she had the wedding ring and everything. Now, somebody would think, oh, okay, he must have had some game or some money to get her, right? I found out later, one of my boys, he knew her as well, right? He was at a club. He saw her slobbering down this other woman. And for those who, because I always get some people who don't know any slang and expect me to speak properly on all of this. She was kissing another woman. So basically, he was her beard. he was her beard or something, just to but she was doing whatever. So you can't really you can't always take stuff at face value. You always have to think there's more. Now, the thing to do when you see that attractive woman or with that guy and you wondering how this happening or you think he did something, here's the thing to do. Don't worry about it. Because that's why a lot of people get messed up. They be saying, oh, they with this guy. You don't know what the fuck is up with them. I remember because I always said I had very attractive cousins. I was hanging out with my cousin one time. This when I was young. Went in this little store. This dude who knew my cousin's boyfriend went back to the boyfriend's like, oh yeah, she hanging out with this dude. Hey, you wanna go fuck him up or something? And she had to be like, hold up, that was my cousin. It's like, don't trip over it. If you see a beautiful woman with a particular man, don't worry about it. Because you don't know what the situation, it could be anything. He could be fucking her, could be a cousin, could be her beard. Shoot, you don't know the situation. Don't worry about it. But it can be deceptive. It's not always what you think. So anyway, that's all for today. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.